Rocky used to walk through the streets of his neighborhood every day on his way to work. On his route, there was an old and abandoned house. Near its door, an elderly woman would sit on the ground, watching him closely. Rocky was surprised to see her there every day. One day, he decided to approach her. Sitting down gently beside her, he asked, "Auntie, why do you sit here every day? Who are you waiting for?" The elderly woman replied softly,
"Son, my son's house is in the next street. He goes this way to work every day and I sit here just to see him for a moment."
Rocky then asked, "Auntie, how many sons do you have?" The woman smiled and said,
"I have 3 sons. Thank God, I gave them all a good education. My eldest son is a doctor, the second one is an engineer, and the youngest has his own business."
Rocky was curious and asked, "Do your sons not come to meet you?" The woman sighed and said sadly,
"They come, son, but very rarely. They are all very busy and don't have much time."
Seeing her old, simple clothes and hearing her story, Rocky felt a deep sadness. He couldn't understand why the mother of 3 successful sons was living alone. That evening, when Rocky returned home, he couldn't stop thinking about the elderly woman's loneliness. He decided to do something about it. The next morning, on his way to work, Rocky saw an old man sitting under a tree near the woman's house, smoking a hookah. Rocky went to the man and asked,
"Uncle, the elderly woman sitting by her door every day. Has anyone ever tried to make her sons realize how she lives alone, waiting for them?"
The old man took a deep breath and replied, "Son, if you can, give it a try. Maybe one of them will understand his mother's feelings." Then the old man gave Rocky the addresses of all 3 sons. Rocky first went to the eldest son, a doctor, and explained everything to him. The doctor replied coldly,
"I send money to my mother regularly, and I also visit her occasionally. What else does she need?"
Next, Rocky went to the second son, an engineer. After listening to Rocky, the engineer said, "My wife is very clever and sharp-tempered. It's better for my mother to live separately than for us to fight every day." Finally, Rocky met the youngest son, who was a businessman. After hearing about his mother's situation, tears filled his eyes. He said,
"Thank you, Rocky, for opening my eyes. I didn't realize how much my mother loves us and waits for us every day. I will move in with her today with my family, even if it means traveling an extra hour daily for my business."
The youngest son's decision brought joy back into the elderly woman's life. Her loneliness ended, and she started living happily with her family again. Rocky felt peace in his heart, knowing his small effort had made a big difference. He learned an important lesson. Even a little kindness can change someone's life.